Akane Nishimura's reserved demeanor leads her classmates to perceive her as a somber and unapproachable individual. Coupled with her intense gaze, this results in Akane being labeled as the Grim Reaper, a foreboding nickname that subjects her to relentless bullying due to the supposed curse she possesses, which is believed to bring misfortune to those around her. Nevertheless, these speculations fail to shake off Taiyou Takada, a transfer student who is intrigued by the supernatural. Unaware of the intricate dynamics within the class, Taiyou fearlessly attempts to befriend Akane. With his cheerful disposition and optimistic outlook on life, Taiyou might just be the catalyst for the positive change that Akane desperately needs. On her way to the school, Akane endures the usual bullying from her classmates, but it no longer affects her enough to elicit a response. Meanwhile, Taiyou, a recent transfer student, finds it peculiar that so many students avoid Akane and instead sees her as intriguing. Fascinated, he approaches her and inquires about why everyone calls her the Grim Reaper. Akane explains that it stems from her glaring gaze, which Taiyou finds amusing. She warns him to stay away like the others if he wishes to avoid the curse that everyone despises. Surprisingly, this only fuels Taiyou's curiosity, leading him to desire a deeper understanding of her supposed grim powers. Akane reveals that it is a deadly curse that spreads upon contact and close proximity. Upon this, Taiyou expresses his desire for Akane to touch him so he can experience the curse himself. She cautions him about the consequences he will face from others, but his determination remains unaffected. Later, as they walk home together, a group of popular students from school approaches him, urging him to walk with them instead of Akane. Taiyou adamantly asserts his choice to be friends with Akane because he finds her cool. Hearing this, Akane breaks down in tears. During their free period, Taiyou inquires Akane about barriers. She explains that the other kids play a game of casting barriers whenever she passes by, as a means of protecting themselves from the curse. Taiyou displays great interest and expresses his desire to learn how to command barriers. Akane questions if he intends to learn in order to shield himself from her, but he assures her that he will never use a barrier to separate himself from her and remains unfazed by their closeness. For someone who spent most of her life lying to her family about having friends, Akane is pleasantly surprised to realize that she no longer needs to pretend. Later, during game period, when Taiyou is struck by a dodgeball and retreats to the nurse's room, Akane contemplates visiting him but hesitates, fearing the potential spread of new rumors. However, when Taiyou discovers her intentions, he reassures her that he doesn't care about what others will think about them. During their class duties, Taiyou notices an unused broom and finds it strange. When he asks Akane about it, she reveals that it's because she is believed to curse anything she touches. This, of course, piques Taiyou's interest, and he eagerly asks if there are more cursed items. Akane proceeds to show him everything she has ever used or touched. During lunchtime, when Akane carries her tray, she becomes the target of bullying as people accuse her of cursing the food to taste bad. However, Taiyou comes to her defense, expressing his desire to eat larger portions of her food. Later, he asks Akane to stand beside him to take pictures because he has heard rumors that ghosts appear next to her in photos. In an attempt to test this, he takes a picture of her, but is disappointed to find no ghosts in the image. After school, the two of them visit Taiyou's house to play video games, and Akane meets his older sister. During an outing with one of Taiyou's friends named Hino, they discover that Taiyou has fallen ill. Concerned, they decide to pay him a visit, and Taiyou is thrilled to see them. Additionally, Taiyou learns that Akane receives fake love letters as a form of bullying from those who call her the Grim Reaper. In an unusual twist, he decides to write a love letter to her himself, hoping to obtain the supposed curse. While shopping for books, Akane accidentally bumps into Taiyou's older sister, who takes her home and dresses her up to take cute pictures. Meanwhile, a group of bullies approaches Taiyou and warn him that if he continues hanging out with Akane, he may also fall victim to her alleged bad luck aura. Rather than being deterred, Taiyou becomes even more excited. Nothing can stop his unwavering determination to be with Akane. Akane comes to the rescue of a small kitten, and Taiyou suggests that she adopt the adorable feline. However, he notices a sudden change in her expression, which turns grim. Concerned, he asks what's wrong, and she confesses her fear that everyone will believe the kitten is cursed. Taiyou reassures her, saying that people simply enjoy bullying and that she herself is not cursed at all. In fact, later, everyone secretly finds the cat to be incredibly cute, even if they don't openly admit it. All students receive notice of their upcoming summer break, and like everyone else, Akane begins making a list of things she plans to do. Curious, Taiyou tries to catch a glimpse of her list, but she swiftly hides it away. Later, she apologizes for her earlier behavior and explains that her summer break agenda is quite empty. Then Taiyou comes up with a plan for the holidays. They will spend it together. They brainstorm various activities that they can do during the summer break, including trekking in the mountains and taking advantage of the free swimming classes offered by their school. Before the swimming classes begin, Akane goes swimsuit shopping with her dad. After sifting through numerous swimsuits, she finally settles on one. However, when the day arrives and they're at the poolside, she starts feeling self-conscious about wearing the cute swimsuit, as it seems contradictory to her Grim Reaper persona. Taiyou assures her that it's okay, and to her surprise, he even turns an insult from a bully into a compliment from her, making her blush. When their friend Hino joins them in the pool, the three of them have a wonderful time together, filled with laughter and enjoyment. Akane asks Taiyou to take care of her kitten, Kuro, while she is visiting her grandma's house in the countryside. However, Taiyou politely declines, explaining that he himself will be visiting his old friends and won't be available to look after the little feline. As a result, Akane decides to bring Kuro along with her as she sets off for her grandma's house with her dad. While on their respective vacations, both Akane and Taiyou find themselves wondering about each other's activities. During her stay at her grandma's, boredom strikes Akane and she begins to miss Taiyou. Sensing her restlessness, her grandma sits her down and inquires about her friends. As they engage in a conversation, Kuro silently manages to escape from his cage. Upon realizing this, both Akane and her grandma frantically search for him. Just as they start calling out his name, a boy appears, holding a kitten in his arms. Akane is shocked to see that it is none other than Taiyou. It takes Taiyou a moment to gather his thoughts and realize that the girl he is handing the kitten over to is, funnily enough, Akane. Akane's grandma informs her that Taiyou is their old neighbor. The two of them decide to explore the area and play together. The next day, as Akane and her dad make their way to the graveyard to pay their respects, they unexpectedly encounter Taiyou. Akane's dad continues ahead on his own, while Akane and Taiyou go their separate ways. After paying their respects at the family grave, Akane reveals to Taiyou that the grave belongs to her mother, who passed away shortly after her birth. Taiyou becomes teary-eyed and realizes that he had been calling her a Grim Reaper, believing she possessed supernatural powers when, in reality, it was just a facet of her life. He sincerely apologizes, and as they walk back home, they witness the enchanting sight of fireflies illuminating their path. As Akane walks, she suddenly finds herself near Taiyou's house. Before she can leave, Taiyou notices her standing outside, seemingly trying to avoid her. He mentions that he needs to go to the haunted shrine with Hino as part of their summer break plans. However, Akane stops him and urges him to talk to her while they wait for Hino. Before they realize it, they have arrived at the haunted shrine, and Taiyou once again apologizes to Akane for thoughtlessly calling her the Grim Reaper. In response, Akane shares that she finds it special that he has a nickname for her and that it fills her with gratitude for their friendship. She mentions that if her mother were alive, she would have appreciated the fact that her daughter has a caring friend like that. Akane expresses her desire for Taiyou to continue calling her by her nickname, as it holds meaning to their bond. They stand in silence, holding hands, until they realize that they need to head back and meet up with Hino. Hino informs them about a festival taking place, so the three of them decide to attend as part of their plans. They engage in a fireworks showdown, creating a lively and enjoyable atmosphere. The following day, Taiyou intends to give Akane a gift ring but loses it before he has the chance. A group of bullies discovers the ring and one of the girls wears it, claiming that it wouldn't suit Akane anyway. However, Taiyou produces another ring and presents it to Akane instead. This gesture fills her with immense joy. Later, as they take a walk together, Taiyou suggests that Akane should smile more, which makes her burst into laughter, playfully hiding her face with her hands. They continue their walk and later participate in a photo contest, taking pictures alongside Hino. They have a fantastic time, and by the end of the day, Taiyou confesses that it has been the best summer vacation ever. The new school term begins, and Akane decides to change her hairstyle. While walking to school, Taiyou joins her and compliments her on her new look. As expected, the bullies gather around Akane at school and start making fun of her hairstyle, but Taiyou comes to her rescue once again. He tells her that she looks amazing and wishes he could match his hair with hers. Later, during class, the teacher announces that the two students should volunteer to become the class representatives. A bully suggests Akane's name, which excites Taiyou, and he volunteers as well. However, another girl who has a crush on Taiyou intervenes and volunteers to be the class representative beside him. She urges Akane to decline the offer. This causes a commotion, leading Taiyou to give up his position, and Akane ends up being paired with the girl. Afterwards, a classmate named Adachi approaches Akane and asks her to find out what Hino likes so she can get him a present for his upcoming birthday. Adachi reveals her long-standing crush on Hino. Soon, Taiyou joins them and invites them to a surprise birthday party that he is planning for Hino. Adachi becomes thrilled, and she and Akane become friends through this experience. Later, after being bullied by the popular girl who has a crush on him, Taiyou asks Akane if he can kiss her when they grow up. This question catches her off guard and she blushes in response. And on this cute note, our recap for today comes to an end. If you enjoyed it, drop us a like, comment the most adorable moment down below, and subscribe to Anime Soreio to find more awesome animes like this to watch on your feed. With that said, we'll see you in the next one. Peace!